Hi, I'm Marna, and this is the Twin Flame Detox. I've got a few things of administrative housekeeping issues to talk about, and then we'll get into talking about the meat of the video. So first of all, my book is coming out by July 14th. It will be available on Amazon. It will also be available on the Twin Flame Detox webpage. I'm so excited about this. This is much of the same information that we have been discussing in these videos, plus I've added in a few extra tips and tricks as well as actual techniques to use when doing the energetic separations from your twin. If there's too much noise, I apologize. It is hot as all get out in my house right now. I have both the AC and a fan running just so I don't die. Okay, so let's get into the video, shall we? Now, I have to be honest here and give props to Aaron Dowdy. He did a video on 5D Ascension, and that started my guides talking. Oh boy, did they start talking. And they started talking about what life looks like after Ascension. After we reach the 5D. What's life going to look like for us? I mean, are we suddenly sprouting angel wings and going soaring off into the sunset? Yeah. And what happens to those who don't ascend? If we don't ascend, if someone we love doesn't ascend, do we still have contact with them? Who's feeding the dog? So, let's get into all of this. We are all energetic beings having a physical experience. We know this. This has been established. Ascension, though we talk about it like it's a physical experience, is an energetic one, not a physical one. So no, you're not sprouting wings and soaring off into the sunset on the physical level. Probably not. As much fun as that would be. The physical practicalities of 3D life will continue after you go through Ascension. You will still have a body that needs to be fed and cared for. You will still need to provide for the physical needs of yourself, your friends, your loved ones. Don't quit the day job. Something better will come along, but wait for that something better to arrive before you decide to live on just energies. Now, on the energetic level, everything is going to change. So as we move closer to integrating the divine masculine and divine feminine and divine consciousness within ourselves, our perspectives shift. As much as we would like to believe that we're going to wake up some morning 10 pounds lighter with incredibly gorgeous shiny hair that doesn't frizz everywhere and all traces of acne gone from our skin, yeah, that's 3D stuff. What will happen is when we wake up, those things aren't going to matter. We are going to cease being concerned about the trappings and the physicalities of the 3D. I mean, this whole society of worshiping youth and beauty is a 3D construct. And as you ascend into your fourth dimensional and fifth dimensional consciousness, those constructs really do cease to have meaning. The physical vessel that we inhabit is just that. It's the body. It moves us through the experience of this perception of 3D reality. The true value of yourself is not determined by the body that you are in, any more than your true worth as a person is determined by the car you drive or the zip code that you live in. So, let's talk about this. On an individual level, this integration of energies is bringing a sense of being whole and complete within our own skin. We no longer need someone else to complete us. We lose that compulsive desire to seek external validation that we are worthwhile human beings. By healing our core wounds, we have seen that our perceived imperfections are really just illusions that we created to limit ourselves. Every time we said, oh, I couldn't possibly, I can't do that, I can't do that, I can't do that, we're limiting ourselves. No one else is doing it. When we accept ourselves as the divine beings we are, And we no longer buy into the culture of, 3D trappings of society. We see the beauty that we carry. We see the love and happiness within us. We know that this is the gift that we are meant to be spreading to the universe. And we can share that energy freely without being diminished by that sharing. As we move forward, we learn to embrace our uniqueness, our diversity, celebrate who we are as part of the greater whole of the macrocosm. We have the freedom to express our personality and live as our authentic selves. And we can revel in seeing other people doing the exact same thing. Then we begin to understand that we truly are part of a collective, and no individual in that collective is any more or less important than any other. We are all critical components in the Great Ascension. Each of us is creating higher vibrational fields in ourselves, and therefore in our families, our friends, everyone we impact during daily life. I mean, none of us directly see the complete picture of the impact that we make. We are not directly shown that being kind to a client at work leads to that person helping a friend move, which leads to that person randomly buying groceries for someone in need, which leads to that person sharing with an elderly neighbor. The impact is felt on the collective level, and it grows exponentially as it spreads. Moving into our own ascension allows us to understand that we do not need to individually experience the benefits of the energy we put out in the world, because it benefits everyone. And this shift in our energy is reflected back to us in the whole mirror of reality. Friends and coworkers will ask you, did you get your hair changed? Did you get new glasses? Or did you buy a new outfit? Did you lose some weight? Because they're trying to define this energetic shift that they can see and feel, but they can't explain. People are drawn to us in all sorts of bizarre situations. We may be approached in the store with someone saying, hey, can you help me? Or we may be stopped in the street by strangers seeking directions to another part of town. On a subconscious level, we are perceived by the world at large as people who know something. People who are operating from a higher understanding of the world around us. Children and animals are responding to our energies, so as they understand that we are sources of peace and safety in stressful situations. So do not be surprised if you have the occasional situation where you hear someone yell, oh, I know you, and suddenly have a 4-year-old wrapped around your waist giving you a hug. This is what it means to be an ascended being. You are living in a place of peace and harmony with the universe, and the universe is responding to that. The more comfortable we become in our ascendant selves, the more we move into alignment with the universal consciousness, the more we are moving into alignment with ourselves. It's a paradox, but then this journey has been full of them, hasn't we? As we move into this part, as we move into our part, the part we are meant to play in the greater alignment, we are going to see gifts and synchronicities from the universe affecting our lives. The people who, for whatever reason, are refusing their own ascension journey are just going to start falling away. They don't understand who we've become. You're not like you used to be. They may even say we're not as much fun anymore because we're not indulging in the addictive behaviors that we participated in with them. And that's okay. They are on their path. We are on ours. Other people who are on the path of ascension will appear in your life, and they will appear in the most unusual of guises. It could be the homeless gentleman who stops and chats with you on the street and imparts some wisdom. It could be someone who has just woken up to this journey and comes to you looking for help. The universe is full of angels and guides who want to share with us as long as we are open to that sharing. And through being open to that sharing, opportunities are going to start arising in our lives that allow us to work on the passion projects that our souls truly wish to do. And yeah, we still have our 3D bills to pay, but the ability to pay will come in. The universe looks after those of us who move in accordance with the higher vibrations of the greatest good. Like I said, don't quit your day job till better comes in, but it is coming. Now, having said all the good, be aware that there are still the entities who are working to stop our ascension, both individually and collectively. One tactic these entities use, and use very successfully, is the promise of 3D wealth and power. They know if they can distract us with shiny baubles that we can touch and hold, or an ever-increasing number in the bank account, fame, adoration, YouTube subscriptions, then we can be lured off the path of personal growth that leads to our ascension. We may see others that we know suddenly skyrocketing into abundance and wondering how that person did that. Use your discernment. As we ascend, we are going to be able to tell when people have allowed themselves to be sidetracked. Now, some of the other tricks that these entities use include the pandemic, include increased social divisiveness, include threats to our health and well-being. These entities are using fear to control people in the 3D reality. And yes, 3D threats can be very real to our 3D selves. I'm not denying that. Courage does not exist in saying fear does not exist. Courage is acknowledging the fear, acknowledging them that it is a valid fear, and continuing ahead despite it. There will be points on the ascension journey when we feel alone and cold and afraid, and we give our left arm just to have someone hold us. How we meet and overcome those situations and emotions are part of the journey. The true beauty of ascension is that it does not end. After we become comfortable in our 5D expressions of ourselves, we're going to start seeing the possibilities for more growth. We're ascending into other levels, 7th, 9th, 12th dimensional beings. Every step we take is opening up more pathways for us, not less. So enjoy the ascension pathway. Enjoy ascending. We are all going to a beautiful place right here at home. I'm Marna, and thank you for joining me on the Twin